Prothalamion by Edmund Spenser. Where was Edmund Spenser born? London. In which year was Spenser born? 1552. At which school was Spenser educated? Merchant Taylor's School. What was Spenser's profession before becoming a poet? Secretary. For whom did Spenser work as a secretary? Young, John Young, Bishop of Rochester. What was the title of Spenser's first major work? The Shepherd's Calendar. In which year was the Shepherd's Calendar published? 1579. Which famous literary figure did Spenser meet in Leicester's service? Sir Philip Sidney. What was the name of the intellectual society Spenser was part of? Areopagus. To which country did Spenser travel in 1580? Ireland. In which year did Spenser marry Elizabeth Boyley? 1594. What was the name of Spenser's estate in Ireland? Kilcolman. What poetic form did Spenser develop? Spenserian. What was Spenser's financial state at the time of his death? Poverty. In which year did Spenser died? 1599. Which medieval poet influenced Spenser? Chaucer. Spenser combined classical, medieval and which other tradition? Renaissance. Who is called as noble peer in Prothalamion? Queen Elizabeth. Which poet of the Victorian era was influenced by Spenser? Tennyson. What is Spenser's most famous work? The Faerie Queene. How many books does the Faerie Queene contain? 6. Which dynasty does the Faerie Queene celebrate? Tudor. Which queen is honored in the Faerie Queene? Queen Elizabeth. What literary form is the Faerie Queene written in? Epic. How many lines are in a Spenserian stanza? 9. What is the main theme of the Faerie Queene? Virtue. Who is Amoretti dedicated to? Elizabeth Boyley. What genre is Amoretti? Sonnet. Which work is divided into 12 eclogues? The Shepherd's Calendar. In which literary form is a wave of present state of Ireland written? Prose. Which poetic techniques did Spenser refine? Allegory. What literary device does Spenser use extensively in his poetry? Symbolism. What type of characters frequently appear in Spenser works? Knights. What poetic structure is unique to Spenser? Stanza. What is Spenser best known for English literature? Poetry. In which year was Prothalamion published? 1596. What type of poem is Prothalamion? Nuptial. How many stanzas does Prothalamion have? 10 stanzas. How many lines are there in each stanza? 18. What is the last 2 lines of each stanza called? Refrain. Which nobleman's daughter marriages inspired the poem? Somerset. What is the rhyme scheme of the first 5 lines? ABBAA. What is the meter of the first 4 lines? Pentameter. What is the meter of line 5? Trimeter. What is the rhyme scheme of the next 5 lines? BCBCC. What is the meter of line 10? Trimeter. How many lines are in the repeated patterns of lines? 11 to 16. 6. What is the rhyme scheme of the quatrain in lines 11 to 16? D, D, E, D. What is the rhyme scheme of the couplet attached to it? E, E. What type of poem is Prothalamion often categorized as? Spousal. How many marriages does the poem celebrate? 2. Who was Elizabeth Somerset married to? Henry Guilford. Who was Catherine Somerset married to? William Peter. What literary device is used in the refrain? Repetition. Which poetic tradition does Prothalamion follow? Renaissance. What kind of day was it in terms of weather in the Prothalamion? Clam. Who are gathering flowers in the river? Nymphs. Who are the nymphs in relation to the river? Daughters. What was the color of nymph's hair? Green. What did the following green hair resembles? Brides. What were the nymphs carrying in their hands? Baskets. What material were the basket made from? Twigs. What did the nymphs collect in their baskets? Flower. Which flower did the nymphs gather in the Prothalamion? Violets. Which flower were known for closing at night? Daisies. Which flower was described as pure and virginal? Lily. Which roses did the nymphs pick for decoration? Vermeil. Which river spotted the swans swimming? Lee River. Which mountain was mentioned for its snow? Pindus. Which god transformed into a swan? Zeus. What celestial body was used to describe the brightness? Sun. Which river was asked to be quiet repeatedly by Spencer? Thames. Which Greek river was the Thames compared to? Peneus. Who was Venus' son mentioned in the prayer? Cupid. According to Spencer, which country admired the aristocrat living? England. What is the allegorical reference in Prothalamion? River Lee. Major theme of Prothalamion is nature, marriage, mythology. Identify the refrain in the poem Prothalamion. Sweet Thames runs softly till I end my song. Which is the word often repeated in Prothalamion and carries importance? 2. Which are the rivers represented in the poem Prothalamion? Peneus, Thames, Lee. How the Thames look like in Prothalamion? Peneus. When the marriage betrothal celebrates in Prothalamion? 8/11/1596. Who is Orpheus? A musician from Greek mythology. Complaints is a poetry collection by Edmund Spenser. Includes the Ruins of Time, Virgil's Nut, the Tears of the Muses. Calm of Day and Through the Trembling Hair. Which poem of Spenser opens with these lines? Prothalamion. What natural landmark trembled in fear? Gibraltar. Which celestial figure is the aristocrat compared to? Hesperus. What does the speaker describe as empty shadows? Ambition. Where has the speaker spent a fruitless stay? Court. What type of force does nature represent in the poem? Restorative. What specific element of nature does the speaker walk along? River. Which historical figure is linked to the poem celebration? Somerset. What is described as Great England's glory? Essex. Which mythological figure is mentioned in relation to the swans? Jove. Which woman from mythology was associated with Zeus as a swan? Leda. Who called Spenser the poet's poet? Charles Lamb. Which collection of poems did Spenser publish in 1591? Complaints. What was Spenser's most significant unfinished work? Fairy Queen. Which literary era did Spenser belong to? Renaissance. Which field was influenced by the Renaissance besides art? Science. Prothalamion.